Hi, it's Trixie, and let's watch a video about people giving their thoughts on makeup. Hi, it's Trixie, and today wait, I forgot to say welcome back to the channel. How the f are you guys gonna know where you are? Okay. Hi, it's Trixie, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm a person, a makeup wearer. I'm a person who wears makeup, a person who knows about makeup, studies makeup, critiques makeup, sells makeup, cha-ching. And today, like one of my weird things I like to do is when I get in drag, I like to become a learned woman. And I like to learn about like things in the world, little points of view, little mini YouTube documentaries, whatever. And Middle Ground, which is here on YouTube. I have my computer here. Let's see, the channel is Jubilee. They basically, it's like Untucked for strangers, where they put people in chairs backstage and give them inflammatory topics and let them talk about it. And sometimes it's disrespectful, sometimes it's wild. You know, a lot of these issues are very serious and I wouldn't dare make a video about it. But this one I saw, it's called Is It Ever Too Much Makeup? This came out 3 years ago. It has 2.6 million views. And I sent it to Nick. I didn't watch it. And I sent it to Nick and was like, I think we should watch this on camera because what if it's really interesting? There is a lot of makeup related things they're gonna talk about here. And I'm gonna put in my headphones and I'm just gonna give my 2 cents. You guys, today's video is sponsored by our friends at BetterHelp. I have to tell you, there is nothing more fulfilling in your life than just feeling like you have a leg up on normal everyday things or abnormal everyday things. And what I love about BetterHelp is I can access licensed therapists whenever I need from the comfort of my own home. You know, I'm not a driver, so being able to do self-care by talk therapy is great for me because I don't have to get in the car and go somewhere. I can open up my computer, my phone, my tablet. I've connected with my therapist via direct message from the airport before. You can get a therapist to specifically talk about something. Let's say you're going through a job transition. Let's say you're going through a relationship change. You can get a licensed therapist who may be specifically targeted and trained and interested in something in your life. One of the other great things is getting a therapist is like dating. You can change it anytime for any reason. Maybe you just don't vibe. Maybe like one time I had a therapist where we just didn't have compatible schedules. There was an East Coaster. And so for me, some days I'm like, the 5 a.m. doesn't work for me, honey. I'm not that much of an early riser. So you can change it anytime for any reason. And when you sign up for BetterHelp, you can usually get matched within 48 hours, which means you can help better help yourself in a smaller amount of time. Let BetterHelp connect you to a licensed therapist who can support you in the way you need when it works for you by going to betterhelp.com/Trixie Mattel or going to betterhelp.com and going to my channel name, Trixie Mattel. And you can get a very special offer your first month with BetterHelp. If you're new to me because you found me in the wild, I live as a normal farmer-looking bald guy and I don't pretend to be in the same shoes as women when it comes to the beauty industry and the way it markets to them and the way the world expects women to present a certain way. I don't pretend to know about that. I would say there's always gonna be a pane of glass between my experience and the, you know, like female experience. But I'm on that pane of glass with both my hands on the window, always looking in. I'm always very interested in how different women, or anyone, but like different women specifically, because I think this is a lot of women on this panel, talk about their relationship with beauty. Because sometimes it's a heartwarming tale of finding yourself, and sometimes beauty and makeup products are a very difficult thing for people to talk about. When I worked at the makeup counter, they always say, we don't work in the beauty industry, we work in the self-esteem industry. I'm interested to see what these people are gonna say about makeup. So before we get started, please subscribe to the channel because, you know, I'm always here until I'm not. I'm interested to see how people who are not drag queens feel about makeup because I know there's gonna be some real anti-makeup stuff here and I'm fine with that.
For me, honestly, putting any amount of makeup on my face is too much.
Okay, I'm just gonna stop right there. She said putting any amount of makeup on my face is too much. I felt like that this morning at 9:30 when I got here to get in drag. So I feel that.
Excessive contouring where girls literally look like they're changing the bone structure of their face.
She just said excessive contouring where girls look like they're literally changing the bone structure of their face. Oh my God, did you say girls? Oh God, oh. I don't relate to that, but you know.
That's talent, but like also that's not you.
Oh, she said it's talent. See, I think these are gonna be really nuanced. I think compared to a lot of these are gonna be people talking about their personal relationship with makeup, and I don't think you can talk about your personal relationship with makeup without talking about your relationship with yourself and how you think you look. I'm really not here to rip, this isn't like the Girl Defined video where I'm here to rip people apart. I'm really interested in what these women are gonna say. Middle ground, makeup versus no makeup.
I'm passionate of makeup because it allowed me to showcase to the world at a very young age the woman that I always was.
My issue here is that this is a video with people who are makeup enthusiasts and they have like overhead prison cell lighting. I mean, that's tough. You wouldn't get me down there. Girl, when I did that lie detector test, the way they had like one flickering light bulb above my head, and I was like, can you guys like do anything to fill my face up a little bit here? And then I still looked kind of crazy.
I stopped wearing makeup either during my freshman year of college or my sophomore year of college. And I feel more like my authentic self when I'm not wearing it.
We gotta talk about this hair clip. I'm just gonna all I'm gonna say is that this hair clip is here and it's doing what it's doing, and there it is.
My mom expected me to just always look dolled up. That would be her idea of looking beautiful.
I knew this was gonna come up. I also don't think you can talk about makeup without talking about your mother's relationship with makeup. So many people have like their first experience with the makeup through their eyes of watching their mom. So sometimes when people have really made up moms, they don't like a lot of makeup, and vice versa. I figured it'd be mostly women, so this is great that they have a male point of view too. Can I just say, you guys, I could never be on this show. I could never be on the show, and I could never be on We're Here. I could never be on some where someone sits in front of me and says something whack, and I just have to like smile and nod. Like, I would be fired immediately. She'd be like, I think people who wear makeup are fake. I'd be like, is this fake, bitch?
Women are oppressed by today's beauty standards.
Oppressed, that means.
Love her for not knowing what, oh my God. The prompt was, women are oppressed by today's beauty standards, and I love that this girl is like, what does oppressed mean? Love. And of course it's one of the beauty people.
It being the beauty industry and the cosmetic industry preys on the insecurities, for example, with aging. Wear this foundation, use these eye creams, so that way you don't look like you're aging. And I think that the aging process is a beautiful thing, and it should be celebrated, and it just shows like all of the life that you've lived.
The way that this show really gets me, because like this girl is obviously anti-makeup, but the way she talks about the aging process being beautiful, I'm like, I'm with her. I'm like-minded, but I also like makeup. You know what I mean? You can share a lot of I guess that's why they call it middle ground. The branding is fabulous. I hope this isn't mean. I'm really into people who brush their hair. I hope that's not mean, but I just think running a brush through the hair, and I say this as a bald person, take care of your beautiful hair.
I've always struggled with acne scars, and I was like looking on social media and everybody's skin looks like so even and so clear. But then I learned that there are a lot of filters that will actually do that. Like, I only discovered this 2 months ago.
Okay, who is this girl that she just discovered filters on social media 2 months ago? She's from Fallout. She came from a Fallout shelter after a nuclear war. I'm glad she's caught up.
I've always been open with all my followers that I edit my pictures and Facetune them, just because it just gives them that extra like feeling to the picture, but not like enhance like nose or eyes or anything like that.
They're talking about filters, which is interesting because I also think you can't talk about makeup without talking about retouching. Like, some people have really ethical dilemmas with retouching. Like, I've worked with photographers who they only believe in retouching if it's like a pimple. Like, if it's something that's not normally on the person's face, or like a scratch, you cut yourself shaving. I don't work with those photographers. I like to look like I was a photograph taken from a Chinese spy balloon, but...
In a lot of like makeup ads, they'll do the makeup look and then change the makeup look in Photoshop.
That is really a good point. You guys, I don't know if you know this, makeup brands release entire campaigns where there's no model and no makeup artistry, and it's like all done in post. Or it's a picture of a model nude face and then they add the makeup in post. I really feel that in makeup ads, the makeup artistry should be there. Like in the Hotline photo shoot with that black and white checkered look, I swear to you, that looked exactly like that in person. With makeup ads specifically, I think it should be the makeup. The makeup in the picture should be the makeup you're selling. I just feel like that is obvious. Makeup has changed how I'm treated by people. Interesting.
Men tend to just give me a lot more attention when I'm wearing makeup.
Do any of you feel like that? Do you feel like if you put makeup on women, do you feel like men treat you completely differently? I mean, it makes sense. I know gay guys will treat you differently. If you have like makeup on, I think gay guys will be like, oh good, I can talk to her. I think that's like very understood. Cause you guys, I mean, do we ever see like super conservative people whose makeup is super snatched? I don't think we ever see that in planet Earth.
On social media, all I have on is makeup, and then on my normal days, I'm like just a regular boy. So when I go to like Sephora or makeup shopping, they're just like, oh, is he gonna steal something? Cause
I get looked at like I'm a thief. I guess not anymore, because now at the Sephora's and stuff, people usually recognize me, but like a few years ago, I always get looked at like I'm shopping for someone or I'm stealing.
But once I like go in with like a full face, they kind of leave me alone, because I'm going back to that point where, oh, he knows what he's doing because he has a full glam.
It's true. If you shop with full makeup on, I do think you will get left alone more because the people are like, oh, they know what they're looking for.
I've definitely gone into interviews or like heard my employer talk about people, and it's not that they'll say like, oh, she wasn't wearing makeup. They'll say like, she didn't seem as ready, or like she wasn't as put together.
I don't want to put anybody, I do think wearing a little makeup to a job interview is life-changing. I mean, I used to, at the makeup counter, work with this guy, and he was looking for a job, and he had a teardrop tattoo right here, and I used to help him cover it up for his job interviews, but then he never came to buy the product. So I was always like, if you cover the teardrop tattoo for the interview, but you didn't buy the product, how are you gonna show up at work on day one? I don't know.
I'm trying to love myself without makeup and kind of my default state, I guess.
I find it interesting that this woman is anti-makeup, but she has piercings and hair color. Like, that's just another body modification. I'm not shading, I just think it's interesting.
It's definitely like a superpower. Without it, it kind of humbles me down to maybe not be that person in the room to ask a question, or, you know, it's kind of like my backup dancer.
I think that is a really good analogy. She said makeup is her backup dancer. I think that like is a kind of playful, but makes a lot of sense, right? I feel like the tag of that question, like, is other people treat me differently because of makeup when I have makeup on. We also treat ourselves differently with makeup on, I think. I mean, obviously for me, at my level, like, yes, I feel I look different, right? But I think people are better to themselves when they feel they look great too. It's kind of a trick to like asserting your own value is to feel like you look amazing. And I mean, I just think that's it's an easy little tool. I have felt uncomfortable leaving home without makeup. Interesting.
When I started to wear makeup and I was, you know, being perceived to the public as a woman, without it, I wasn't, you know? So it was like really hard to adjust to even leaving my house without a lash, without an eyebrow.
I mean, obviously the trans girl has a completely different point of view because she's saying early on in her transition, like makeup, brows, lashes was a way that the world would like understand that she is to be perceived female. You know, so I mean, her experience is so different. I'm waiting for someone to pop out that I hate. Normally, I hate someone, but even the most anti-makeup person, like I really am down with her, love her. I wonder if you would come on the channel, whoever you are, the anti-makeup girl. Like, I think you're a real down bitch and I'll put you in drag and we could just have fun.
When I was going on a lot of first dates before I met my girlfriend, I would like, it would pretty much be the only time I'd wear makeup. Like I wouldn't wear it to work and I would come home and put it on.
I only know two types of lesbians, the ones that wear absolutely no makeup and the ones that are completely in drag. There is no middle.
First date I went on with my girlfriend was like one of the first dates I didn't wear makeup.
Interesting. She said she went on a first date with her girlfriend with no makeup. That is bold.
I would like spend the night with a guy and I would not take off my makeup. Like I would sleep with my makeup and even like 10 minutes before like waking up, I would run back to the restroom, touch up.
Has anybody ever woken up, touched up makeup, and then got back in bed and pretended to be asleep so that the guy sees you with makeup on? I guess straight guys are dumb though. When I worked at the makeup counter, I remember asking this guy, he was like, I like women without any makeup. And I was like, well, who to you is like a no makeup look? And the guy said Megan Fox. And I remember being like, wow, people have no idea. Love Megan Fox, but that whore is dipped in house paint, of course. I mean, the picture he brought up was like a red carpet picture. And I was like, okay.
So on Valentine's Day, he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I was like, I'm about to wash my face. I was like, I'm about to just take it all off and see what happens. He saw me, and then after that, I'm just like, on FaceTime now, with no makeup, I'm just comfortable.
For me, it was kind of the opposite. When you're a gay guy trying to get a boyfriend out there, most of the guys don't want a guy that's wearing makeup. So I would hide everything about me, like wearing makeup.
The gay guy's like, because the woman is like, oh, I used to be afraid to take my makeup off because the guy wanted to be my boyfriend, but I had to take my makeup off to show him the real me before we said yes. And this gay guy's like, well, when I'm dating, I don't wear makeup because I don't want the guys to know that I wear makeup. So it's like a reverse.
My pictures on Instagram, I would literally delete them so he won't know that I was wearing makeup.
He was trying to date this guy and he was deleting pictures of himself on Instagram with makeup on to hide. That is really bleak. I get it. My first date with David, I told him on Tinder that I was a comedian who played guitar, which isn't a lie. But I remember like on the third drink, I was like, I have to tell you something. I was like, when I do my shows, I also dress up like a woman. And he was like, yeah, I knew exactly who you were. You just were being weird about it. So sometimes I think we have a perception that everyone's gonna hate us, which doesn't really check out, not always. Altering your skin color is cultural appropriation, this person says.
The issue of blackfishing comes into play when people are presenting themselves as more ethnically ambiguous because it's trendy. That's not okay.
This is an interesting conversation because like when I learned, like when I worked at the makeup counter, it would be like, there's the foundation match somebody is, and there's the foundation match that they want and that they will buy. Some people, if you would match them to their exact color, they didn't like it. Some people wanted to be lighter. Some people wanted to be darker or a different undertone, or like, at least behind the makeup counter, it was always like I want to match this person in a way that they will look the best in real life. They'll look the best in pictures. And then there's kind of the tug of war of somebody wants to look tan, somebody wants to look more fair, somebody wants a different undertone. And it was always a delicate balancing act of trying to like manage expectations and make sure people look the best.
Like, let's say you're doing a shoot out in the desert. They're obviously gonna like bronze you up and like airbrush you and make you look more tanner, because they're not gonna want you like not look bronzy in the desert, because that just kind of doesn't make sense.
I mean, the influencers in this group have a different experience, right? Spray tanning and stuff when you're on camera all the time, it's like body makeup.
Right now in the media, the trend is to be darker skinned. I remember in the 2000s, the fair skinned, skinny girl look was in, and trends have just changed.
It's interesting that these conversations about like trend and like skin color have so much to do with like time and when. Like the conversation they're having now is about specifically like celebrities or like things going deeper. And then they just referenced like how many years ago when the trend was more really fair and really thin. So it's really interesting on body shapes, all that. It's all talking about trend and the celebrity trickle down, right? Like it has to do with in makeup, like somebody does it on a runway, and then celebrities wear it, and then maybe they wear it on TV. People see what celebrities wear and want to wear it. And then the trickle down of how trend is created is like impossible to really track, because the world is so many moving parts. This section is there's no harm in children using makeup. And I honestly have barely thought about this. I'm really interested to see what I'm gonna think.
I think that makeup within itself is a self-expression.
Oh my God, she's alone.
And I feel that if a young boy or a young girl is drawn to that, then it should be supported and treated with like love and kindness and acceptance.
That was sweet, right? I didn't expect her to have that opinion.
Like I said, my mom putting the makeup on me as a child, and now you have this adult
Interesting.
that feels like she has to be presentable all the time. That's a problem.
Look, even the makeup enthusiasts have different points of view about whether or not kids should touch makeup. This is really surprising.
Causing acne, if it's unnecessary and you don't know how to take care of your skin, then you can cause a problem.
That is a really good point. One of her points, the second point of her 3 points is like, if you're young and you're having puberty and your skin is changing and you're wearing makeup, but you're not really aware of how to take care of your skin, makeup can make it like, how many people when they were teenagers were experimenting with makeup but had no idea about how to take care of their skin? I mean, that's a very like universal thing.
I wouldn't want my little sister wearing makeup so young, because I wouldn't want her to attract the wrong attention.
That's interesting, because I have 2 baby sisters. They're both like 25, 24. And one of them is a total glam diva. She's like the lashes. You guys know, you've seen her on the channel. And my other sister really could not be less interested in makeup. So it's interesting, because I have memories of my sister in high school, Samantha, wearing like glitter and stuff. And then my other sister, I like don't have any memories of her wearing makeup. You guys, I'm not a parent. What do you think? Like, I feel like I remember the conversation of like, I don't want my daughter wearing makeup until she's this old. Not till high school, not till middle school, whatever. I don't even know what I would do. I'm obviously cool with like play makeup, but like, I don't know if my like child-aged child was like, I need to start wearing concealer every day. I don't really know. I don't know how I would respond to that. I don't know. I don't pretend parenting is easy. I think this is such a complicated question. I will make it clear though, I wouldn't let kids touch my fucking makeup.
Obviously, there's a line to which, like, the degree to which someone's doing their makeup. With girls going to Ulta and stuff, buying like real like adult makeup, is that a thing? I don't know. As opposed to like play makeup, like Barbie makeup, stuff like that.
I'm kind of with her. I feel like with kids, I love like a play makeup set. Obviously at Trixie Cosmetics, we love referencing that type of packaging. I love like play makeup for kids. I love face paint on kids. I love, little princess like glitter on the eye, like kids makeup. I love that shit. If my kid was like, I want my lashes on and I want to be contoured to the gods, like, I don't know if I would like be loving that. But again, I don't have a kid, so I'm totally speculating here.
Also more intense too though, because like there's so many tutorials on YouTube of like how to do makeup. So these little girls are doing sickening makeup.
That's a really good point. I love that this girl's like, you don't understand. These kids are really young. They have expensive makeup palettes and they're really good at makeup. I really need us to still have ugly years though. Like I need people to wear the wrong color foundation when they're 15 years old. I need people to have lipstick on their teeth in their prom picture. I feel like that builds character. So even if you are a great makeup artist, could you just like chill and still look kind of shitty for a couple years? I think that's like a rite of passage. Interesting that even the super makeup enthusiasts were like, I don't know about kids with makeup. It's really interesting. There is such a thing as too much makeup.
Putting any amount of makeup on my face is too much. But I know for all of you three, you guys enjoy it so much. And so what's too much to me is by no means too much to you guys.
Don't you guys feel like, for a rather like anti-beauty product viewpoint, don't you feel like this girl Bryn is like very chilled out? I feel like we need more people like that in the universe who have completely different points of view and are very like zen about it. Like, she's not criticizing anyone there. She's not criticizing the way they handle products or wear products or anything. She's literally saying, this is how I feel, but I understand you feel differently. I mean, I don't know how to argue like that. I would have bit someone's head off already.
There's this girl on TikTok who is a bad influence.
Is it the one with the pouring and pouring and
she
pouring?
She pours foundation on her face.
Oh no! They're talking about Meredith. Hi Meredith. I mean, Meredith wears a lot of makeup. Meredith Duxbury. Do you guys follow her? She's that girl who, like, if you ever seen her reels and TikToks where she has like a handful of foundation. She wears so much makeup. What I like about her videos is that she does not act like she does not have a pound of makeup on. Like, her visual, her aesthetic is more, a lot of foundation, a lot of everything. And I like that she doesn't lie about it.
But the everyday person is gonna go out and dump the foundation on, rub it in, and then go on about their day and look crazy.
That is a really good point. I will say that, like, when I worked at the makeup counters, most people's, when they had a problem with the foundation, I'm just gonna be honest, most of the time it was user error. You're using too much product, not enough product, the wrong tool, you're not prepping your skin the right way, it's the wrong color, it's the wrong formula for your skin type. There's a lot of ways that product can go wrong. And most people, even if they have no makeup skill, they'll be like, that product sucked. And I'm like, this is a product formulated by experts to be really good at what it does. And you, ma'am, have no makeup skills. So maybe we just need to pull that product. I swear to God, you guys, 9 times out of 10, if you took the product, re-showed them how to apply it, it's a completely different story. So I'm kind of with these ladies who are like, these products are being demonstrated in a very clickable, viral, like stop you from scrolling way, but that doesn't really help you when you get it home and use the product, because sometimes the way the product's being demonstrated, I mean, you guys have seen in my videos, I don't love swatching like this because I feel like that's not how we use product. So I feel like arm swatching is not really a helpful way for shopping for makeup because that's not how we wear makeup. But anyway, that's my own little 2 cents.
I'm a soccer trainer, so when I had my interview, they told me to show up in soccer clothes. If I looked like any of you guys, I'd be like, what are you doing? Like, but obviously, like, if you guys are applying to work at like Sephora or Ulta, like, they want to see you know how to do this.
That's the thing. You know, this girl's talking about, she applied for a job as a soccer coach. She's not going to show up in makeup, but she's saying, you know, but if you're applying for a job at a hair salon or at an upscale boutique, beauty industry is kind of the fashion industry, and like your image really matters. We always notice at the makeup counter when people came in for an interview what they look like. It's the first thing we notice. Why is somebody going to buy product from you if you look a mess? Your makeup is your advertisement for your skill set and your point of view. So I don't know why you'd hide that stuff. But I see what she's saying. She's a soccer trainer. If she showed up in full glam, they'd be like, what the hell are you doing? But you know, girl, there's this woman who works at TSA and at LAX who is painted up like a goddamn whore. She has like blue, black, smoky glitter eye with red lips and contouring and arched brows. And I've seen that bitch at the airport at 4:30 in the morning when like the TSA just opens. She's in that glam. Ask any of the Drag Race queens about it. We've all seen that woman at LAX and we're always like, work. You know what I find interesting about this topic compared to any other of these middle ground videos? A lot of these videos are like fat people versus skinny people, Christians versus atheists. It's opposites and it gets very heated. I find it interesting that surrounding makeup, these people are very interested in how each other feel. They're very open to how each other feel about this, which is great because honestly, makeup is not a topic that people should be screaming at each other about. It's really not that deep. And I say that as somebody who like would live and die for makeup.
How would you respond, or how have you responded when people give you feedback about your makeup? Like, oh, it's too much, or like, this is too extra, or something like that?
I just tell them to go f themselves.
No, seriously.
Well, that's the thing, right? If somebody wears a lot of makeup, they know they wear a lot of makeup. So when somebody comments, that's a lot of makeup, it's not the slay you think it is in the comments to be like, that's a lot of makeup. That person knows. When people comment on my videos like, whoa, that makeup, I'm like, yeah, it's insane. I had to paint it on at 9 o'clock in the morning. I know how crazy it is. I also have to say, this whole video I've talked about my relationship with makeup as Trixie. Out of drag, I wear tinted moisturizer with sunblock almost every day because usually my skin is like traumatized from being in drag, so it's all red and blotchy. The moisture helps, the shine control helps, the tint obviously evens me out, and the SPF. Like, I always like all those benefits. And I will say, even at the airport, I usually wear a little concealer and sometimes a little brow, like a brow gel. Tinted moisturizer, a tiny bit of concealer, and a brow gel, pretty much every day. But nobody ever clocks it. Like, people are never telling me like, oh, do you have makeup on? People never say that. So I like to look good, but I certainly don't like to look makeup-y out of drag.
Even with skincare, if I went to that side of the argument, it's a lot of privilege to have the knowledge to do skincare, to have the money and resources to do that.
That is really interesting. They're talking about skincare as like to have the knowledge and time and resources to spend money on your skin. Not that every skincare product has to be expensive. It's interesting that they talk about like skincare is beauty, and skincare especially is kind of behind at least a knowledge, but a little bit more of a financial paywall. Can I say that this was actually really wholesome? I thought this was gonna be really heated and wild, but I mean, as far as like people responsibly discussing something kind of touchy, I thought these people really like, they offered their own point of view and they actually listened to each other and no one got mad, which like never happens in these videos. Usually everyone tries to stay calm, but you can tell on the surface they're like bubbling. I thought this was really sweet. I mean, we don't talk enough on this channel about like makeup as a concept. Like we're constantly touching it and using it and living it on this channel, but we don't really ever talk about the way we feel about it as a thing. And I thought this was a really fun way to talk about that. So thank you guys for joining me today. And thank you to Middle Ground for making cool videos. I love your videos. I will never come down there because of the lighting. So until you start doing videos where I'm being front blasted and like Vaseline on the lens, not gonna do that. But thank you guys for joining me and I'll see you in the future very soon right here on the channel. Goodbye.